Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another interview with myself, Jamie Theodosi. Today, I'm joined by Caolan Loughran, who's fighting on September the 2nd in UFC Paris against Yanis Ghemmouri. Caolan, how you doing, mate?
Never better, lad. Never better. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thank you, mate. All good. So obviously we are just a week out now from the fight. What's the feeling for you now that we are just a week out from it?
Uh, Honestly, at the minute, tired, sore. I'd love to tell you I'm all excited, but today, one more day of training camp and then taper off, chill, fight weekend and the weekend, just getting the sweat in. But I tired, but get tomorrow over me, lad, and the excitement will grow again. It'll feel like I start water loading and stuff. I'll feel like it's time to go again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And before we jump into that matchup in particular, I just want to kind of rewind back to when you were told that you were going to be joining the UFC. I
Yeah,
saw a video of your coach, Colin, kind of telling you whilst you were in the gym and
yeah.
in front of like a group of obviously fighters that were training at the time. Can you kind of recall what happened that day and how it felt to be told that?
Uh, it's the most special time ever, lad. It was see our gym's moving, like we're all like renovating at the moment, and a dog fell upstairs. That's right. Close the door.
What dog have you got? What breed is it?
My next door neighbours, lad, the fucker
Oh, is
just
it? Oh,
does my head.
yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I was on the dog. See, our gym's moving downstairs, lad, and he basically got everybody in, like everybody in the gym, like general public, fighters, everything, just to talk about the changes that are happening. And obviously, I thought that's what the meeting was. And he then, at the end of it, he goes, "It's actually a little shit, but I'm actually here to tell you." And he looked at me and he goes, "Welcome to the UFC." I was like, "What the fuck?" So I caught me off guard. That was a nice surprise, never forget it.
Yeah, definitely. And you've spoken before on podcasts and interviews that obviously you've sacrificed a hell of a lot to get to this point. You've moved from Ireland away from your family, away from your
Yeah.
life in Ireland to pursue this dream. So now that this dream is in it's so close to coming to fruition, literally next week. How proud does it make you feel that all those sacrifices have paid off and you've reached that?
Yeah, like initially it was like for the first couple of days, like, oh, this is deadly, and I was on really on a high. But then I got to the point where I was like, I've got a fight here now. Like, so what happens if we go out and get fucking head kick KO? Like, what are you celebrating? Fucking concussion. Do you know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah,
becomes there's a task here. You know what I mean? It's not just oh, I'm so happy and proud. Like, I remember the time McGregor fought Poirier and out in Abu Dhabi, and the guy was reading out a old quote, and he started crying basically in the press conference about what he had done. It's not a good mentality to go into a fight. So for a few days I was happy and I was really on a high. It's like, I've done this, I'm in the UFC, it was cool, but very quickly it becomes a case of what we've always done now, preparing for an MMA fight. You don't head down. They say that the beautiful thing with dreams is you get new dreams, you know what I mean? So I got that
yeah.
one now. It's very much a case of let's get the strap or the road to the strap.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way of looking at it, to be fair. And you could have
Yeah,
gone off and said that obviously it was great to reach this point, and like you said, it's to see past that and see what you've got to do next is the most important thing.
of course, of course, of course, because you if think what's next, then you can't get stuck in like celebrating.
Yeah,
Celebrating's not good for fighters. Get the head down and go on to what's next. You know what I mean?
definitely. Yeah. And obviously touching on your last fight, it was against an Italian in Italy. This fight
Mm-hmm.
against a Frenchman in France. Does it make it a bit more exciting knowing that you're going in there to fight someone in their own backyard?
Absolutely, 1,000,000%. That was the best experience of my life going out to Rome, and I can only imagine this is going to be 10 times over. Like that was roughly 2,000 Italians. Now it's 20,000 French. So the more the merrier, lad. I hope they boo the fuck out of me. I hope I keep the fight and all is obviously deadly, but you can't really take in the fight so much because you're like flowing, you're zoning out, but I can take in the ceremonial weigh-ins, you know what I mean, and the crowd. So I'm looking forward to that. And I hope the fuck they boo me, like, you know what I mean, being a away fighter. But if they think it's gonna put me off, they've another thing coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, the French are quite rowdy when it comes to things like supporting their own. So, how prepared
Seriously.
are you for that? Just kind of hearing those boos and those jeers and that sort of thing. Well, I mean, you are prepared for it because, like I said, you've done it in Italy, so you've
Not
had that
admittedly, lad, I
experience.
was the most enjoyable fucking half hour of my life whenever they're booing me out in the cage. But that has to stand to me, like that experience of fighting and that, because it was very congested. Like obviously now this is a huge arena, so there's a lot more people, but it felt like everything was on top of me. That like it was like so like compact.
Mm.
So I actually think in the cage it might feel a little bit more insane in the small compact arena than it will in big fucking. Well, I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking in my head anyway.
Yeah,
But it was
sure.
a high pressure moment. It was crazy, crazy atmosphere, and that's something I think I have like way over this guy. He's basically like brave. He's fighting. His last few fights been brave, and hasn't been very active at all. But when he was fighting, brave kind of kept or like fucking basically COVID like Apex format. So he's basically fighting wee fucking
Hmm.
rooms in front of nobody. And now he's
Yeah.
going to 20,000 people in his national like arena where they're all cheering for him, and you've got me in the end of the cage from laughing at him. Like I don't think that's good. You know what I mean? So I have fought much better competition in much higher profile moments. So I have that over him definitely.
Yeah, and that's something I was actually going to ask you about. You're someone that kind of lives and breathes MMA. I think you've
Yeah,
mentioned before that you never really switch off from it, and when you do, you're just constantly thinking about it when you're trying to switch off from it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how much do you know about him as an opponent and his sort of skill set?
Oh, I've literally watched everything I can on him. I've watched his most. Again, he hasn't been very active, but the fights that I've watched his last two or three over and over. Like, but that again dates back to 2021. Of course, fighter can change. He fought there about 2 or 3 months ago. I've watched it. Literally watched it today. He's predominantly a striker. He wants to keep it a kicking range. If he gets into boxing range with me, I'll put him out. He cannot let me get close to him. He can't. His chin's too high and he can't box naturally. He's a Muay Thai, not really a Muay. I see his record is 15-0 in Muay Thai, but he's not like a traditional Thai. He's more like a point style kickboxer, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
He has to keep it a kicking range because if I can close the range on him, I'll hit him. And if I can hit him, I can sleep him and I can grab a hold of him. So he has to keep it a kicking range. If he allows me to get close, uh he's in bother. He's in bother. If I hit him clean with the right hand, I can put him out. If I get a hold of him, I'll take him down. I can finish him. But at kicking range, he's quite skilled. They say he's 15-0 in kickboxing, and he's big, long. He's coming down from featherweight. So no, I've watched everything I can. I think it's incorrect preparation if you don't.
Mm.
If you watch your opponent, you don't. John Jones openly says he watches his guys for everything he can get. You know.
Yeah, of course. Um, and you've said there that you feel like you're more experienced and you've got the more experience than him.
Oh, no
Um,
question.
for this fight, you are going back down to a 3 round fight. Obviously, your last fight was a total fight, 5 rounds. Obviously, it didn't
Yeah,
need the 5 rounds, but the
yeah,
preparation would have been for 5 rounds, I guess. Um,
yeah.
has that been different this time around? And do you feel like that has given you even more of an advantage over him? The fact that you have trained for these 5 round fights.
Yeah. Well, it's completely different training camp. It takes this was 6 7 weeks. The 5 round training camp was 12 roughly.
Mm.
It gets mentally draining. 7 weeks enough for me because I obviously train more than night. I couldn't not train, but camp training is different beast, especially in the gym like Team Cowball. Uh, 7 weeks is enough for me. After like seven, you're kind of waiting just when the fuck's the fight gonna happen. But
Mm.
this is shorter. It's a sprint. It's literally a different sport. How you pace yourself. I remember actually Dominic Cruz says he under when he came. Obviously Dominic Cruz, he had umpteen 5 5s, but he came back to 3 5s. He says he got very tired of the 3 5s because he didn't pace it. He sprint. He thought he could just sprint. So it's a different game now. But I say I've fighting for a long time. I've a lot of fights. Usually sparring 3, 4, 5. So I know how to pace stuff. We just had to alter the training camp a wee bit, not quite as long, and no, thank God. I know I'm bringing a mad pace to the fight after that 5-5. When we put it that way.
Yeah. And you spoke about it there, how Dominic Cruz mentioned how he kind of just got tired because he thought he maybe could do it sooner than what he
Yeah.
did. Do you feel as though that a lot of that's in the mental side of things and kind of keeping yourself busy in your mind to know that you can't just go out there and just go hell for leather?
Well, this sport is all in the mind. Like even like energy, like preserving your energy and knowing how to use your energy. Like you'll see an experienced fighter against a novice fighter. Like when is he taking his time for like if he gets the back, getting his breath. If he gets half guard, getting his breath. Sitting behind his jab, getting his breath. So it's absolutely in the mind that's just experience and handling the moment correctly. Because a lot of guys are getting like an adrenaline, even if they're backstage all day and they're going
Mm.
mad. They come out and haven't got the crack mentality. They'll get an adrenaline dump, especially when there's 20,000 people now and you're in the UFC light stuff. So that is absolutely his mentality. That's all experience, and I think I'm very well versed in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And obviously, like I've mentioned before, you are someone that consumes MMA constantly. Do
Yeah,
you think that helps you kind of grow as a fighter and learn new things in terms of being a fighter, constantly
yeah,
consuming it?
1,000,000%. Like today, I don't even know how much fights I watched today. Like how much guys I've studied. I think I watched all Jack Della Madalena's UFC fights today. Like literally all of them, just studying his jab, studying his high guard. I
Mm.
watched Liam Smith and Chris Eubank today. I watched Volkanovski today. That's just today.
Yeah,
All I
bloody
do is
hell.
watch study the sport. I get I don't really ever get bored of it ever. If I do, I'll go for a walk.
Mm.
Maybe because you know I wasn't normal TV that much. When I go for a walk, I'm thinking about MMA. So I add it. I'm just an MMA nerd. Do you know what I mean? So it's bound to help in technique and IQ and everything. It has to, doesn't it?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'd think so. As someone from the outside looking in, I'd think that if the more of it you consume, the more
Of
better
course.
better of an idea you've got of it. It's like say someone that avidly watches it but has never trained. I'd say they've probably got an advantage over someone that never watches it but has never
A million
trained.
percent.
Yeah,
1,000,000%. Well, my brother came in there, mate. He first started doing submissions that he'd done off the UFC game.
yeah,
When he first started training, like he said,
yeah,
I goes, "How do you know that?" And he goes, "I seen it in the UFC game. Remember that years ago?"
yeah. I remember Max Holloway actually telling his when he first started training. He mentioned in an interview that he learned a lot of his moves from playing the game when he was younger, and that's how
that's
he used to learn new moves. I remember hearing that actually, and that's
that's
one of the best
fucking
fighters in
nuts.
the world, Max
One
Holloway.
of the
It's
best
like,
ever. I.
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, you're opening up the main card, which is obviously a massive
Yeah,
kind of. It shows
really.
how much the UFC are kind of have got this buzz about you. Do you feel that do you feel more pressure knowing that you're opening up the main card, or are you just seeing it as kind of any other position on the card?
Well, no, it's not. It means it's a big deal to me. I'm the biggest favorite on the card, and I'm opening the main card. Prime time, prime European time, free TV north and south in Ireland, and then obviously in the UK. So no, it's absolutely huge. There will be so many people watching it.
Mm.
The external shouldn't affect you. It's the same stuff. It's Yanis Ghemmouri in a steel cage with 4 ounce gloves on. So everything outside that, you have to be good at blocking that out. I expect way, way, way bigger nights. Sean O'Malley in Vegas. That's what I genuinely believe my future entitled. So I'm not. Well, I just being honest. I'm not nervous now. Maybe I'll wake up fight day and I'll be fucking shit myself. I
Mm.
can't tell you that to be. I'm usually very good at it though. But no, I'm a lot more experienced than him, and I feel like if I took him into the gym, if he came into our gym, I feel I'd smash him. So what would change in a UFC octagon? It would only change if I'm not right up here. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna relish it, lad. I can't wait for the media days. I can't wait for fucking trying on a pair of UFC shorts and gloves. And I'm gonna take it all in, lad. And I'm coming in with a lot of hype. The card is quite poor. Not really like name value wise, not too many big names. So I just see that as an opportunity to completely blow up, steal the show in Paris. You know what I mean? Especially in one of the main cards. So happy days, lad. Happy
Yeah.
days.
And do you think that kind of shows how much the UFC believe in you with putting you on that position and giving you the main card opening fight? Kind of shows that
Of
the
course,
UFC have got quite a lot of kind
yeah,
of like promise for
of
you, if you
course,
know what
lad.
I mean.
I would argue that I think I probably came through Cage Wars as dominantly, at least, as anyone ever. I didn't lose one round, and I finished everybody inside 7 8 minutes. So that comes with a bit of hype. But I mean, again, it's all boys come in. Like I remember your boy Eve came into the UFC. I think he was like 1-5. Your boy Cost was like 1-7. So boys come in with big favorites, big heights before, and don't back it up. So it's nice to be a big favorite. Nice to open the main card. Obviously, the UFC are giving me a push. They're in filming me the other day, and they're telling me they're going to do like follow me about all week, basically. So
Mm.
they're giving me a big hype. They're trying to build towards another Irish show and build Irish stars. So it's no, it's all good, lad. But I can't. I have to be honest. At the minute, I feel literally no pressure. I'm just tired and ready to get my last train session, hard train session done more than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And how excited are you at the prospect of possibly a UFC Ireland maybe next year or somewhere hopefully close down the line?
Oh, it'd be amazing, lad. It'd be a young lad's dream coming true, quite literally. You know what I mean? I remember like it was yesterday, Conor fighting Diego Brand. I was in school, sent the other days in school, and I couldn't afford a ticket, but I wanted to go. Probably my only like major regret not going. But no, it would be a dream come true. I would literally die a happy man. But I just want. I imagine. I know that the McGregor Brandao fight is 10 years next July, so they'll
Yeah.
probably do it summertime. If not, some Paddy's weekend. But anyway, I want to fight this show now next Saturday. I want to fight in the Vegas pay per view in December without looking too far ahead. And I've got then I'm 2-0 in the UFC. I think I will be. I say I'm on the main card here. I think I'll be a very big name in the bantamweight division after two fights in the UFC. So if it was next summer or the start of the year, I could maybe even squeeze one in before Dublin. But I would then want a meaningful fight, a big fight in Dublin, like a
Mm.
named bantamweight, someone somebody knows, and that would be unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And something I saw you did recently was previewed the UFC 292 card, the O'Malley Sterling fight.
Yes, I
Is
was
that
wrong.
some? Is that something? Well, I think a lot of us were, to be honest. I think we all went for a safe pick in Sterling, but Sugar
uh,
Sean just seems to have that superstar aura.
does
Is that something that you're kind of wanting to do a little bit more of, the kind of YouTube thing? 'Cause I know we see a lot of, not a lot of fighters,
yeah,
but we see a few fighters doing it recently, like
yeah,
Aljo. You've got Henry Cejudo, Demetrius Johnson.
yeah,
They kind of have started doing these YouTube things. Is that something that you're looking to do to kind of build
yeah.
up your fan base a bit?
Absolutely 1,000,000%. I'm gonna not do it myself on my fucking iPhone, like as I go up, but because I don't know how to do it, I don't know how to edit that by my land. Also takes
Yeah.
a lot more time than I thought, but it's definitely something. I think I've got a good. As I say, all I do is watch fights, so I've
Mm.
got a good insight into these things. I did get O'Malley wrong. I thought Aljo was gonna win, but absolutely, even down the line, an MMA podcast, something I definitely,
Oh, yeah. I was
definitely
just gonna say, yeah, that'd be a great idea for you.
yeah, definitely do because I can talk about a shite lad. You know what I mean? And I obviously like MMA, so absolutely. And that's work. That's why I respect for O'Malley because I say I've done. I think I'm doing like at least two podcasts every day this week on the side of your training. Like that's like literally work. It's like
Mm.
I enjoy it, but it is time consuming and stuff. So for him to go put all this content out, all these TikToks, reels, record all these podcasts, go on other people's podcasts. I respect the hustle because on the side of
Mm.
your training, a lot of people just want to lie down. So he puts in a lot of work, and he's been very wealthy for a long time. Sean O'Malley, long before he was a UFC champion, he was a millionaire. So no fair play to him, and it's definitely something I'm interested in. You know.
Yeah, of course. And just touching on that fight itself, I'm guessing you were surprised at the result then being as you picked Aljo.
Yeah, I was here with my mum in bed. It was 5 a.m. I
Yeah.
a video of my reaction. I'm just sitting like this. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. It was deadly. Fair play to him. It was fucking deadly. the smart pick was the thing that Alex was going to take him down and take his back, of course. But no, that's why I love MMA, lad. These moments, like whenever fucking Leon head poster behind you, when
Yeah.
Leon head kicks Usman, like I never forget that. When McGregor chinned Aldo, these like holy fuck moments, what makes MMA
Mm.
deadly, and you can't beat the knockouts. So no, it's something I'm working towards as my life goals. To see him to do it, it was fair play, deadly.
Yeah. And then just I've got a last little segment and I like to do in my interviews called split decisions. It's just
Okay,
kind of quick fire questions that you just
what's
got to
this?
answer them as you hear them. A bit like Hot Ones, you know Hot Ones?
No.
The chicken wing show. Come on, you've seen
Oh
Hot One.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
It's like
Deal
that, but without the
one.
wings. I can't offer the wings, unfortunately. I wish I
Uh,
could. Um,
uh,
but yeah, the first one is if you could change or add one rule in MMA, what would you change or add?
Jesus Christ. I have no idea, lad.
I can give you a few ideas, as in like so the 12 to 6 elbow. A lot of fighters say that they'd remove
That
that.
should be, yeah, that's it. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's a stupid rule. That's a stupid rule. Yeah,
Or
never thought of that.
one I got before was they'd like to re-add the kicks to the downed opponent, the head kicks to the downed opponent. What do you think of
I
that?
just don't know, lad.
Bit brutal, isn't it? Yeah.
That's heavy, that, like, fuck me.
Yeah, that's a bit brutal. So you'd saying
Yeah,
you'd change the 12 to 6 elbow?
that should be changed. That's a silly rule.
Yeah. If you could only eat one more meal for the rest of your life, but it gave the perfect nutrients, what would you eat? So you don't have to worry about it being like junk food or anything. It gives the perfect nutrients that it needs.
Pad Thai, the Thai
Oh,
food. You on it?
do you know what? I've never tried pad thai.
No, it's good
That's
shit,
bad
lad.
of me, to be fair, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
bad of me.
chicken Pad Thai, fucking deadly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try one. To be fair, I might try
Yeah,
one. I was gonna say the next weekend, but I'll be in Paris for the fight, so I don't know
being
if they'll.
Paris. I'm sure there's a Thai restaurant in Paris. No,
Yeah,
it's good.
maybe I'll try and seek one out. Um, the third one is you are at training and someone gives you the aux cord or the Bluetooth. You can only play one song. What do you play?
I don't get the chord of the aux in the gym because I play Irish traditional Republican music.
Oh,
Our
right,
gym
okay.
full of like fucking Manchester and Liverpool. So they don't. I play Grace. It's an Irish Republican song. My favorite song, Grace.
Right, I'll have to search that one because I'm not sure I've
It's
heard
a
it.
slow song now, but it's good.
Yeah, okay. This one I'm actually interested to kind of hear your take on this one because obviously someone who really does consume MMA, I'd imagine you've got a really good answer for it. So, if you could make the perfect fighter using fighters from past and present, who would you use for the attributes of grappling, striking, heart, and IQ?
Wow. Well, grappling's Khabib.
Hmm.
Absolutely. No question. Wrestling and top pressure hips. 100% grappling's Khabib. George St. Pierre was good, but he was in the time like Carlos Condit and I'm friends down it, but Dan Hardy, like Khabib would have took these guys down at will. I think the game's progressed so much. I'm a big fan of GSP and his technique, but grappling for me is Khabib hands down. IQ is Volk right now. Again,
Hmm.
GSP would be in there, but Volk right now, he's the most well rounded of all them, maybe ever at the moment. But I'm going with Volk.
Hmm.
Striking, boom, 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 boom. I could tell you who I think is my favorite style, but probably not the. I think Wonderboy might be the best striker of all time, but for me, a prime Purian when he fought,
Hmm.
like a coming up Purian was my favorite striker. I stylistically, just I like pressure fighters like behind me or Triple G, and I love guys who
Yeah.
come forward. Do you know what I mean? Come forward and try to hurt. So I go for a prime Piotr strike, and that performance against Jose Aldo tonight was absolutely beautiful. So I'd go grappling Khabib, IQ Volk, striking prime Yan. What was the other ones?
The last one was heart, so like heart, chin, like determination, that sort of thing.
Just John Jones.
Hmm.
He's a geez, I feel like if you hit that man with a steel pole, he's just come back for more. Like he's just an absolute nut job, isn't he? So I
Yeah.
go John Jones.
He may have been hit with a steel pole before. You never know. To be fair, you never know
Probably
the life
has
of John
that.
Jones. If you could travel to any place in the world right now, where would you travel?
Thailand. I like to hit Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Have you
yeah.
have you trained out in Thailand before?
No, but I would love to go. I just like holiday and train stuff. Love to see Thailand, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could go for a drink with anyone in the world right now, who would you pick? That could be
Donald
dead or
Trump.
alive. Donald Trump. Oh, what? That one's caught me right off guard. That one's caught me right off
I
guard.
think he's hilarious.
I mean, it
I
would
think
be a
he's
funny
hilarious.
drink. It would be.
I'd like to hear his stories. Listen to the Nelk Boy stuff a few times. I think
Yeah.
he's got some crazy yarns. So they go Donald Trump.
Yeah, and that was the last one, mate. I won't keep you for too much longer because I know these questions have come in quite late on the night. So I really appreciate your time today, mate. And I can imagine you've had a busy day training. So I really appreciate you taking the time out.
Anytime, lad. Anytime.
If there's anything else you want to add at the end of the interview, go ahead, mate. The floor's yours.
Hey, no, it's just thank you to my Team Caolan, Four Corners, all the lads helping me out, then all my sponsors and get them all on social media. So get them all there. Thank you very much, lad.
Perfect.